Told you that fourth Star Trek movie was a lie.
Let us hear it for our poor dead friend.
And yes, I'm going to toot my own horn on that one. I am Mecca. I've seen these articles for the past few years, and every time they have investor meetings and investor calls over at Paramount and the CBS stuff and all the Star Trek related things, they give you a little bit of a word about a new movie or a TV series like a Section 31 show or some of these things that are in the works or in talks. And last week, we got news of JJ Abrams coming in to have a new Star Trek. And they were making it sound like cast was gonna sign on, and they were making it sound like they had a release date. And what happened the next day? Well, the stock dropped 20%. I think, was it 20%? I don't even want to look because I own stock from, I am an investor. This is why I said I don't believe this. I read the articles, and so I chose not to do a video on this because that's exactly what they want.
That's exactly what they'll be expecting us to do.
They want to go and find a thumbnail of me saying, fourth JJ Trek movie. And then they say, didn't you just say that? Because they like to take it out of context. This is the people on the Twitters. Those people, they want to argue to try and discredit people. When I don't know why they're trying to discredit me. I'm 90% parody. I'm not even a real person. Neither is Star Trek 4, apparently. It's not a real person either, or a real movie. This is a funny one. We got to talk about this. Right here from Hollywood Reporter. Not a real thing. Even Paramount stars are surprised. They had not heard anything of it. What did they do last week? They made it sound like ink was being dried as we spoke, as we were reporting this, or they were anyway. We've got stars. They're in negotiation. They hadn't heard a word of this because they didn't want to work on it last time. They didn't pay them enough last time they tried to get a fourth movie underway, probably a year or two ago at this point. Sources say that most, if not all, representative teams for the franchise's primary talent were not aware that an announcement for another film was coming, much less that their clients would be touted out as part of a deal during a Wall Street event. But they made it seem like it was a sure thing. They wanted everybody to say, and that's how they twist it, and that's how they will these things into existence. I think they try and generate enough buzz and say, well, see, Twitter wants it. They're all over it. It's trending, but it never did. That's the problem. It never did. We had other things to worry about other than a stupid fourth Star Trek movie. And with everything else that's going on in the world, you're not going to get investors on board for something that has notoriously not been profitable. These Star Trek movies, like it or not, they're not nearly as profitable as what investors need right now, especially today, especially in wokier than thou Hollywood, when you can't even make money on Star Wars, at least to the point of it being, a smash box office hit. What chance do you have on something that's a niche of a niche? Seriously, Solo lost money. Even Marvel isn't doing too hot with stuff like the Eternals, focusing more on diversity.
Diversity
than anything else. So is it no surprise that them trying to will this into existence didn't work? And I love that the stars, quote unquote potential stars, are calling him out on this. This just leans so much more credibility to when I do have to go through and call these articles out. Because they've done this time and time again. Sources tell The Hollywood Reporter that most, if not all, teams of the franchise, primarily players who include Chris Pine, Zachary Quinto, Simon Pegg, Carl Urban, Zoe Saldana, and John Cho, were not aware that an announcement for another film was coming, much less that their clients would be touted out as part of the deal. Certainly not that their clients would be shooting a movie by year's end. Yeah, that's what really got me, is like, this will never happen. They don't even have the stars. They announced a release date of 2023, which means they'd have to start shooting now. Now, do we really have the calendars clear for all of these hot commodity stars? Zoe Saldana is in Guardians of the Crapping Galaxy, for crying out loud. Do you really think they're gonna get her at a moment's notice?
No!
Insiders say that Pine, who plays Captain Kirk, is the first to enter early negotiations. Yeah, and unless he's offered exactly what he asks for, he probably won't sign on. We've got another Wonder Woman movie to deal with, don't we? Where I'm sure they'll figure out a way to bring him back again. Just so that Wonder Woman can have her way with another guy while he's in the soul of the body of the... I don't care anymore. That was to begin filming in the fall in order to make the December 2023. Don't! Oh, the script is still being worked on. This is gonna be wonderful. Something that's crapped out in a couple of months. For Star Trek? Oh, this is just DOA.
Very dead, Mr. Spock.
Even if it does happen, like, if we're crying out loud, this is going to be the biggest, wettest, stinkiest fart that just comes and goes. You're gonna notice it, and then you're gonna immediately forget about it because, you know, it's another in a dime a dozen run-of-the-mill bad Star Trek. And we're tired of this. These are so generic. I can't even tell you what happened in the third movie. Nobody liked the second because they lied and said, oh, no, Khan's not in it. And then sure enough, there he was. And now because of these people, we have all this new bad Star Trek on television. Well, on streaming, people don't even have TVs anymore. Star Trek, of course, has been a backbone for the company's streaming strategy. Yeah, how's that working out for them? If they'd release the numbers, you know, considering that you have Netflix way huge with subscribers, you have Disney Plus, Hulu way huge with subscribers, and then you have Paramount way down, and like they're number 3, but number 1 and 2 are like Apple and Google Play. You know, it's like having the 2 app stores, right? And all these other streaming services are like, you know, okay, so this is some junky burner phone that's not even going to have an app store for whatever exclusive thing it has. That's what that really reminds me of. And here's where we get into the money. The money. The movie studio is being called upon to help supply a streaming service that is looking to build its subscriber... Oh, they have numbers between 65 and 75 million by 2024. Star Trek isn't even the highest rated show on the streaming. Why are they wasting their time and money trying to make Star Trek the thing that they build an entire streaming platform on? When, take it from me, they would do far better just to focus on South Park and Beavis and Butthead right now. And let the nerds fix Star Trek or worry about Star Trek. Let it go away for a little while until it's ready to come back. But this is the last thing I think anybody really should be throwing their money at, as me as an investor here. And what seemed expensive as 2018 is now, in a world where Netflix or Apple is making 30 million plus talent deals the norm to reignite a flagging franchise during a company-wide reboot. That puts an emphasis on investor-friendly streaming. It's a price that Paramount might be willing to pay. So, as far as like money to pay their stars, they're gonna have to really, really cough up a ton of money. Oh, here you go. Here's their money part. Star Trek Beyond grossed only $343 million and a worldwide budget of $190. That does not include your advertising and marketing and everything that the actual studio gets. Because remember, the theaters are getting their cut too. The studio had 3 Star Trek features in development, including ideas from Quentin Tarantino and Noah Hawley. Yeah, and none of those came to be because every time... This is the one of these was the ones that they decided to walk on because I think it was Noah Hawley's. Rob, was it Noah Hawley's? Yeah, that they were going to get Chris Hemsworth back for. It was Noah Hawley's they were going to get Chris Hemsworth back for, if I'm not mistaken. And he didn't want to come back because they wouldn't pay him enough because he's crapping Thor. So, of course, that one didn't come to be. This Emma Watts took over, and didn't she quit? I want to say she quit. Correct me in post if she quit or not. Her whole job was to reignite the franchise. And what did we get? We got a couple of movies that never came to be, which I got kind of tired of talking about. And all of these TV series that are just rehashes and reimagines and woke versions that are 25% different, still, despite the fact that they don't have to be. They're still in these alternate universe, multiverse crap things. And that's not what Star Trek fans wanted, especially when Star Trek fans are, I hate to say it, a little bit older, a little bit wiser, and a little bit more thoughtful with how they throw their money at things, and the wokier than thou demographics that they're trying to cater to nowadays. We know from every other franchise in existence that they just don't spend money on it. I am Becca, and if we never see this, I won't be surprised. But they'll probably sneak it through anyway, just to prove me wrong, because they watch me. I'll see you guys later. Bye. Thanks for watching. If you liked it, make sure to hit that like button, and if you want to see more, don't forget to subscribe. See you in the next video.